full season came and passed us by, and it was filled with lots of surprise hits. But for now, we get what we've been waiting for. Here's a video featuring some of the best fights full anime gave us, and I'll be listing down what I think are the best battles from shows that I've seen. Have you got any bets so far? Make sure to lock those in as we get to the list. Let's start off with Queen versus Sanji, shall we? One Piece in 2022 seems to be all about Kaido, the epic Kaido fight. We all heard about it, but I don't want it overshadowing a fight that can be just as awesome. That's Sanji versus Queen. With how much fan focus has been on other characters, I wouldn't blame you for not remembering how awesome Sanji can be, but he sure owned this moment when he saved everyone from Queen. It's finally time for him to shine, and the fight sure delivered. We get a second showcase of powers and all, and he did give us an amazing entrance, saving Chopper. The fight is great so far, giving us a glimpse of a gritty and serious Sanji. After all, our favourite playboy can't be left in the dust, considering how much stronger Luffy and Zoro have become over the years. I'm very emotionally invested in this fight due to how it looks to be building up Sanji's character. I'm expecting a lot of him, and having read ahead and finding out about the fight's conclusion, I'd say this event really did him justice. Now, as of the time of this writing, the fight's not yet finished, but with what we've seen already so far, this has all the hallmarks of an epic fight that advances the status quo in a major way. Suletta versus Elan is pretty nice, and it adds some cool world building in the process. In my opinion, an element of a good anime fight is how it adds a lot to fuel fan discussion in addition to the actual fighting itself. Now, it's a bit rare, but it's nice to see when it does happen, as it did with Elan's fight against Suletta. The first fight is pretty intense, and I really felt it when Elan kept increasing those permit scores, straining himself more and more in the process. Unfortunately for him though, the Ariel does show off some new powers, ones that are able to disrupt him and defeat him in a not-so-family-friendly way. When Suletta called the bits as everyone, it feels that there's something behind that statement, and it's not looking very pretty. The reactions from the fans afterwards make this fight so good from a personal perspective. The reveals make for some really nice discussions. The more chill stuff and the foreshadowing is done, and episode 6 of Witch from Mercury seems to be the turning point. It's the point when this becomes the Gundam series that's on pace to become the talk of the town, and it may just be what the franchise needs for a much needed revival. Up next is Sid versus Zenon. I didn't anticipate Eminence in Shadow becoming as popular as it was, but seeing the show make it actually makes me happy. Not that it's mainstream by any means, but it's certainly doing a lot better than its genre peers over the years, with a lot of promotion, a mobile game, and discussions going on in the community, at least where I'm from. It's also got a cool fight and nifty showcase of power in this fight against Zenon. Yes, this was one that became a meme for like a week or two, awkward line that can actually turn pretty awesome depending on your perspective. The fight as a whole is pretty much what you'd expect out of a show like this. It's loud, it's toony, it's over the top, and it's full of edgy heroes showing off his superiority against feeble weaklings that dare to oppose him. Sid really does a great job of appearing so cool in this scene, and I think it's in how the show goes all in on the toony elements that this show has become a success. It knows it's a popcorn anime through and through, and it makes no effort to hide it. And if you thought that that was an exhibit of crazy overpoweredness, how about the Katana Man fight? Just what is Katana Man made of? If you thought Denji and his team were OP, this Katana Man guy puts everyone to shame. The guy freaking survives everything. Fox Devil, Curse Devil, Ghost Devil, everything. His one-on-one with Denji is all sorts of awesome too, with music that goes hard and camera angles that make the action feel even more intense than it already is. The short exchange is really cool. It all starts with Denji leaping off and beginning the battle, and that grips you and holds you in for the ride, never letting go thanks to the spectacular animation and how fast and furious the fight is. You know, until the pace slows down when Denji decided he wanted to take a hostage. Bad idea. Seeing Katana Man just being crazy overpowered, as well as the Makima scene that follows, which got featured in another video, so make sure you check that out, is quite an eye-opener to the grand scale of things in the Chainsaw Man universe. Just when you thought Denji and allies had everything in the bag, you see monsters like these roaming around. Are any of these fights getting you going now? Then go hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this to show up in your feed. Pucci versus everyone is the finale we all needed. As Stone Ocean looks to cap off what's been a long story spanning generations in the JoJo universe, it's just fitting that we get a final fight like this. Long, action-filled, and filled with callbacks, albeit with twists. And it's nothing short of being an emotional roller coaster. The fight just makes all the powers come together in an extremely entertaining dynamic. This anime is just astounding, really. Reading the fight chapter after chapter in manga form was great, but seeing the actual attacks animated, with the music helping enhance the mood, is the only way you can do JoJo fights justice. It also helps that Pucci makes such an engaging final villain. Jotaro also had a nice curtain call. You can tell that he's no longer in his prime, but he still got it in a way. Such a great way for a legendary character to go out. And if you still haven't had enough of emotional final fights for characters who've stuck around for a while, then you need to stay put for the next entry. As we head towards the end, can we talk about Dimple versus Psycho Helmet? We've had a lot of great sidekick times in the limelight in anime history before, but this one just takes the cake. I don't think I've ever felt this struck or invested in a side character in recent memory, but here we have Dimple being the biggest hero we can ever hope for. Sure, the actual fight is good, but this, in my opinion, is all about the emotions. It's pretty amazing how awesome this fight is, both in showing off Dimple's prowess and culminating his character arc. And there's no better anime than Mob Psycho to animate what an amazing farewell. Salutes. Heroes vs Shigaraki is one of the best fights this season, no questions asked. One villain that's consistently remained one of the most impressive and scariest threats in another anime is Shigaraki. He's definitely not a case of nobody to nightmare, but seeing his evolution and what he's capable of since taking the mantle of being the villain's leader is something that will send shivers down any hero's spine. So of course, the big confrontation against him has to have one of the most drawn out and impressive showdowns in the whole of My Hero Academia. I really love this fight because it's pretty long but not unnecessarily drawn out. That's just how fighting a villain of his caliber has to be, and seeing him take on Endeavor handily while simply overcoming everything the heroes throw at him is nothing short of awesome. This fight really did a lot for his character, which has already been thoroughly built up in terms of prowess. It also drives home that he's pretty much the hero of his own story with the way he's being portrayed, complete with the combat mechanics and overcoming the odds. Bankai. Minazuki. Bleach has been consistently a banger, and the momentum continues into the latter half of the series with Unohana vs Kenpachi.
これはなんだ。
Finally, the long-awaited battle of the Genbachis is here. Genbachi versus Unohana is an affair that simply left me speechless. Unohana repeatedly beats Genbachi only to revive him to make him stronger. A trial by fire that's the pinnacle of pure sword fighting in Bleach. Some smooth animation here and chilling moments when Unohana brings out her Bankai makes this a rather morbid spectacle. The cool thing about this is that the foreshadowing has always been there. Remember when Aizen just noped out when Unohana first arrived to the scene at the time of his betrayal? Or everyone being afraid of her, even Squad 11 members? This is Kubo tying some loose ends, all while giving us a battle to remember. For the Gotei's strongest and most veteran captain besides only Yamamoto, this is the great send-off and a proverbial passing of the torch moment to Zaraki.
ありがとう。これが戦いだ。
And that caps off the list in a nice way, doesn't it? So head down to the comments section and tell me what you think about the list and if there are any fights that you think I missed. I'm pretty sure we don't exactly watch the same shows, so there'll likely be stuff that I didn't get to mention, and it's now your time to show off your recommendations to me. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to come back for more anime videos. Stay strong, stay amazing, see you next time.